Okay, so the next one we want to see now is for profile. So as you can see, we are still under security control and we are going to go into profile. And for profile, as you can see, we currently have administrator and we have standard. So that means profile is just allowing you to create a set of permission that is going to be based on different criteria, and it is going to also be permission for the different custom modules that you've created or the ones that you currently have. So you'll be able to create set of permission to allow each profile to be able to see whatever you want them to see. So this is for administrator, which is an admin. You can decide that this person can see everything, and you can also decide that for standard, you do not want people with the standard users. You do not want them to be able to see maybe your invoices, or you don't want to see them to see your purchase order. Like if you're trying to protect your finance, anything that has to do with finance in Zoho CRM, you can say that the standard users cannot see that. So that means if you click more here, this is for profile and it is for the admin profile, and that means um oh, sorry. So as you can see, this little description has been added, and when you click on this, you can clone this particular profile, or you can click on view user. So view user is going to allow you to be able to see all of those users that are currently under that profile. And for standard, user, as you can see, you can clone this and you can also view user. Since I'm the only one, there is no user for standard profile. So let's say you brought in an intern, and the intern is just using Zoho CRM and you want them to be limited to some things. You do not want them to be able to see all of the data or all of the record in your CRM, and you only want them to see some set of things. So just to protect your data, since they're just coming up and you do not want them to also tamper with some things, you can click on new profile and you can name this, maybe let's name this interns. And we are not going to clone this. Okay, we are going to clone this profile and we're going to clone the standard profile, and you can add in a description if you want, and when you're done you click on create. So that is going to create another profile that is called interns, and you can also see what interns can do and what they cannot do. So for instance, we have the leads. So this is for like the basic things. We have the leads, we have the import and export, we have the send email. If you want the intern to be able to send email, you can just remove this if you do not want them to send the email. So that means if you do this, if you uncheck this, they are not going to be able to send out emails to your clients or to your contacts. And also you can decide if you want them to be able to mass update, and if you want them to be able to do all of this. So you can just set up the settings and just um make sure to add in whatever it is you want. You can also say that they can see the leads but they cannot edit and they cannot delete. They can create leads, they can view it. You can also do the same thing for contacts. They can view and create leads but they cannot edit and delete this. So the same thing for your purchase order. You can decide that you do not even want them to see the purchase order at all, or you do not want them to see the sales order, or you do not want them to see your invoices or your price books. So anything that has to do with the financial system of the financial modules of Zoho CRM, you can decide to like take that off. And you can also decide to do all of this for the import records. You can allow them to import records if you want, or you can even say that you only want them to be able to import leads and import contacts. You do not want them to import tasks or meetings or your custom modules. So just need to switch this up however you want. So this is a lot, and I will advise that if you are creating a profile, you have to make sure that you calmly do each of these and check out each of them, because if you set this up and you create a profile and you assign them for intern, until you go back to edit this, they are going to see all of the permission that you've given to them. So if you made a mistake and you maybe added your finance thing and you did not maybe remove one of your invoice and you do not want them to see it, it is going to be kind of a big disaster. So you want to make sure that you set this up properly, even for the admin level. So you can see, or as you can see, the admin level, everything has been removed. So they cannot even do they cannot create modules, they cannot create bookings and all of those things. You can also decide that for email templates, if you want them to be able to have access to the chat and the email settings, if you want them to create automations, if you want them to create kingdoms. So you can do this. You can also decide that if you do not want them to see your API access, you can also remove this. So this is actually very, very good if you have multiple people, just to be able to control what people can see and what people cannot see. Because if you start having a large team, it will be very hard to know who did this or who did not do this. So this is where it is best for you to be able to create this permission. So when you are done, also you can rename this if you want, and you can view the particular users that are in this profile, and you can also clone this if you want. So when you go back here, and as you can see, intents have been created. This profile called intents have been created. So you can clone this if you want. You can just click on this. Oh, sorry, this is for standard. So you can also click on intents, and you can see what you've done also. And if you go back and you check in for admins, you can see what has been done for admins. Admins are like the how will I put it? They're like the most superior, and they can see everything. If you're adding someone as an admin, you have to make sure that the person is someone you want to add as admin, because if you're adding as admin, they have access to almost everything. So as you can see, they have access to this, and there are even some things that you cannot modify because they are admins. So also for the admin level, if you see anything you want to remove, you can just remove that. It's not possible admin should be able to send emails, so you cannot even take that off. So for the basic also, you can decide that you don't want the admins to see your product, but that is weird, because why would you do that? Yeah, but if you want that to happen, you can just take whatever, you can just turn it off. So that is for admin. So the same thing is for standard. So for standard is like the one below admin, and since admin have all of the access, for standard you can decide that this is just going to allow people to be able to see the normal records, and anything in the admin level they cannot see it. So because this is for the admin level, they cannot be able to do any of this. So that means if you do not want someone to be able to do all of this, like the portals, like the module creation, your currencies, all of those very, very vital or delicate things, you can add them to the standard. But if you are adding for intent, you can see that the intent should only be able to view all of your records. So that is for profile. This is actually very, very important, because this is like the foundation of whoever you are bringing in. If you're a small business owner and your team are currently using Zoho CRM and it is feeling overwhelming for them, or they do not know how to use Zoho CRM and they are trying their possible best ways to use it, but it is currently not working, we offer team training for your team, and we can be able to fix team training at your own convenience to be able to train your team on how to use Zoho CRM. So you can click on the link below to book your own team training, and we are going to create documentations, we are going to create how-to guides, we are going to create workflow guides and everything you need for your team to be able to understand Zoho CRM properly. Book your slots below and we'll help you with your team training. And also do not forget to like this video, also share this video to everyone out there who you think might need this video, and also please do not forget to subscribe to this channel, because that will go a long way in helping us in this channel. And thank you so much guys, we will see you in our next video. Bye.